berry. The sweeter the juice, I say the darker the flesh and the deeper the roots. I give a holler to my sister's own welfare. Tupac cares if don't nobody else care. And I know they like to beat you down a lot. And when they come around the block, brothers clown a lot. But please don't cry, dry your eyes, never let up. Forgive, but don't forget. Girl, keep your head up. Boom, classic. Tupac Shakur. Hello, America. Hello, world. Hello, you. It is your new best friend, Cashmere, California. And this is the Pod is Good podcast, aka the Notorious PIG, episode 52. Pod is good. And all the time, if you know, you know. If you don't, keep listening. You will find out today. I got a cousin that I've never met before. I think this is going to be interesting because usually I have people on that we've kind of chit chatted. We got something to talk about, but I was also thinking this is dope. Like we didn't try to talk before the show and hang out and get to know each other. We're gonna get to know each other right here on the show. Let it be organic. Let us build, create a bond. I love it. I'm excited. I hope y'all excited too. Again, this is episode 52, and we are about to have a good time. Uh, Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Reverend Sean D. Brandon. How you doing, family?
Hey, I'm here, man. You already know.
Dude,
Already know. Pot
happy
is
to have
good. God is good. Everybody is a-okay.
yeah.
One day at a time.
That's how we do, right? That's how we
That's
do.
it.
Well,
That's it.
as we both know, we knew we were cousins because we met during COVID on the virtual family
Mhm.
reunion, but we never really got a chance to chop it up one on one. You know what I mean?
Well, how are we cousins?
That's a good question. I should have brought my mom in here. I told her she's like the proprietor of the ancestry.com world. So she'd be like, "Oh yeah, you got a cousin that dude. Oh yeah, I talked to him. That's your uncle. She used to be on your." I'm like, "Okay, ma, I just trust you." So she say you my cousin. I got no reason not to believe her.
That's it. That's it. That's it. I know we family. You know, join the other 500 of us. Okay, join the other 500 of us. You know,
Right,
we
right.
fit
Well,
every description, so we good.
there you go. Welcome to the fold. Come on in. Just
That's
bring
it.
bring your baggage. Come on up in here.
Uh-huh.
So I know you said you're in Flint, Michigan.
Flint Town, Flint
Yeah.
in the house.
How long you been in Flint?
I moved back here in 2006.
Okay. You've
After
been there for
my
a minute.
mother passed away, we moved back here, and it was supposed to just be a short trip.
Hmm.
But I guess I started drinking that water, and there's something in the water made me stay a little bit longer. I was only supposed to be here for a minute, and that was my turnaround time. I guess I was just going to kick it with some family members that I hadn't seen in a minute, and
Yeah.
once I got enough of them,
You was
I
gonna
was gonna
head
do
back.
like I did. Yeah, I was gonna jet back. But
So what
one thing,
happened?
well, there's that saying where you can't go home again. You can.
Hmm.
Being who I am, I ended up getting a job in the very school district that threw me out. Uh,
Wow.
the same district that told me bye bye,
Right.
that I would never amount to nothing.
Now they writing you a check.
Now they writing me a check, and now I'm the one dealing with the behavior. So
Hmm.
I'm a behavior specialist in the district for
Okay.
the high school kids. So they get in trouble, they come see me. Um, I also run the middle school sports, football, basketball.
Nice. Nice.
I run All About Speed Track Club, which is an AAU track club.
Okay.
I'm also the head varsity track and field coach for my daughter's school, Goodrich High School, which is ain't no chocolate chips in that cookie.
It's a sugar cookie.
It's a sugar cookie.
Sugar cookie, right there.
It's a sugar cookie with maybe like 5 pieces of chocolate chips in there. But it's funny. We find a way to get it done. We
Yeah.
usually go state.
Mm.
With me and my youngest daughter, she's been recruited by a lot of colleges, even some colleges back there. I got a letter from a college from back there earlier today. So they're after her. All of my kids play sports. I have one daughter. I have a son, oldest son. He's the head coach at Ypsilanti High, which is about an hour from here. Then my second daughter graduated from U of M, Ann Arbor.
Congrats.
Then went to grad school in Philadelphia.
Congrats.
Then she got married and then decided her and her husband moving back to LA. So they went back to Cali.
They
So
beat you back.
they beat me back. So they back in Cali. And I'm telling them, y'all can have it.
Right.
Y'all can have every bit of it, Then I got a third daughter.
You are like woven into the community, is what I'm hearing. That's why you can't leave.
Say it again.
I said you are woven into the community. That's why you can't leave. You got too many hats, too many people looking up to you.
I get around in here, Sean Brandon is a household name here. Former basketball player. You come back here and I start all these basketball programs, Team Adidas, Nike, All About Speed, and we just rolling. I'm bringing that LA flavor here.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
And it's been successful. Okay. I always knew I would be a preacher, but I got ordained once I got back here.
Interesting.
Just one thing of another. I have zero complaints. I have zero complaints. I got the same wife that I met in California for over 30 years. Okay. We just keep making history. We ain't making no more babies, but we making history. Wait, is this a family show? Because we show trying to make babies. We just ain't making them more.
You trying.
We just practicing to make sure I still,
That's it.
I'm able. Do that. Yeah, just keep me
stay fresh.
Solid. Yeah.
So you said you were a behavior specialist.
Yes.
So that's interesting that you're a behavior specialist in the school district that kicked you out, I'm assuming for behavior.
For behavior.
So how does that affect how you deal with the kids now, knowing that you kind of were in their shoes?
Well, this is my 17th school year here doing that. You can't put nothing by me. I come from, the rough parts of town. I've done everything you could think of. I've smoked, I've drank, I've shot dice. I've skipped school. I've did everything in the school system. I've showed up drunk. I've showed up high, so it's hard for them to, I'm able to relate, but I'm able to provide a success story for those young brothers who may be struggling. There's some brothers that's struggling, and I always can relate to them and tell my side of the story, and it always starts out with "I used to." That was the old Sean. I used to smoke more joints than you could roll. Okay, wow. But now, it's I'm able to offer a little bit of hope, because when you find out in areas, especially when you're in the rural areas, everybody's looking for a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Every parent wants some hope. Every kid wants some hope. Just a little bit. And when they see a brother that's been married, same wife, all the kids are mine. That brings hope, because it's a rarity that you see a black guy with the same woman over 30 years. You know, we don't have no I don't got no outside kids, and she don't got no outside kids. I saw some kids that look like me, but they ain't mine. Uh, it scared me half to death. I walked into a
Yeah.
church and a little boy looked identical like me. I was like, "What the heck is this?"
Like, who your mama? Who your peoples?
Man, I wanted to know who. You know what? I just immediately I knew he wasn't mine. I just started blaming it on one of my brothers. Dang, that must be my brother's son. You know,
Mm,
this boy looked just like me. But it caused me to stay here. I
yeah,
can deal with the kids at school really well. I'm probably one of the top in our district. Um, you know, I can he with them and ha ha with them, laugh with them. But at the end of the day, I think I make a difference.
yeah,
You know, I got a real big athletic background. You know, I've had a lot of kids that come through my way that's done went pro with football, basketball, even
nice, nice.
baseball. So it's hard for you to tell me that you're this, you're that.
Yeah,
You know, I've done just about everything in every walk of life you could do, and it's a good testimony to kids. You really I really some kids like me, some kids hate the ground I walk on because you know I have to be that guy to tell you, you know,
yeah,
see you in 2 weeks.
yeah. They'll love you for it later, but yeah, right now it's like, yeah, I'm good now. Like Flint is known for being a very tough city, a very stressful city, a hard city to grow up in. Um, Talking to these kids about drugs, that's one thing we know is that it seems like the drugs have elevated. Have you noticed there being more serious drugs and drug habits that you're dealing with these kids than when you were going to school there?
Cause let me tell you, this new weed, whoo, this new weed. I mean, I'm from LA and I knew about the chronic. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. I grew up, you know, Snoop was there and the
there you
chronic.
go. Yeah,
But when these kids walk in my building with this new weed, only thing I can say is I'm pretty sure I'm high. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm high. I haven't been high in a lot of years, but I'm pretty sure that I'm high.
I'm pretty sure.
You can have it in your pocket, unsmoked. I can smell it.
Oh man.
If you smell it, if you smoked it, I can tell. There's no hiding this new weed. I mean, we used to, you know, the old weed we used to have, we used to put it on the album cover and try to take, you used to have like 100 seeds in it and try to take it out. You know, you could smoke it in the bathroom and nobody would know.
Hmm.
Now, this new stuff, these kids going, they that and the vaping.
Ah.
Oh, you know, I'm too old to smell vape, so they just be vaping on me all the day long. You know, I come in the bathroom, there's somebody vaping in the bathroom. I don't know who, I don't know. You know,
Yeah, it's not nothing.
I don't know about the vaping. I just
Yeah.
know if they smoke weed, this new stuff is powerful.
And that's scary because I've never been a weed smoker. However, I lived in Cali, so I know what Cali's known for when it comes to weed.
That
So for you to be in Michigan and the weed to be that level, that scares me for my children who are gonna come up in Cali.
look,
I'm nervous.
this stuff here, these kids here will run away from home. That weed is, you know, only good part about that weed is if you don't want to get busted, don't smoke it. So a lot
I
of
see what
times
you're saying. You can't sneak it.
the kids were, you know, they were some of them, the smart ones will wait till they get out of school to smoke it because if you smoke it walking it through, I'm gonna know you smoked it.
Got you.
You
That's
know, so
interesting.
I have a decision to make. Do I let you in or do I turn you away until you go home? You know,
Yeah,
come back, you know, go to the bathroom, take a shower or something, you know.
yeah. And what grade are you over?
Ninth through 12th.
Ninth through 12th.
Ninth through 12th. So it's tough. I mean, I got some, you know, it's tough. It's tough. You know, I'm at an alternative school, so I'm dealing with the kids who need another chance
Huh.
on their last chance. Some of the girls are moms. Uh,
Mm,
they're 1 and 2 grades behind. So my any decision that I make can usually affect them either in a positive way or to them in a negative way, because some kids,
mm,
we have to unfortunately say, it has run its course.
yeah.
You're too old for this school. You're 22. You're in the ninth grade. You may want to do something else.
Ouch. Ouch. That's a harsh reality.
And it's a reality. We get that.
Yeah.
Um, but again, we try to save as many as we can. Because they do say that schools like this are a pipeline to prison. If
Mm,
you don't make it here, chances are you may, and we have some kids that have gone that route, who had to do some time or still doing time, you know. So we try to, again, I got a different hat, that everybody know I'm a preacher. Um, I get a chance to tell them something that I ain't never thought I'd be able to tell anybody in the world. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't beat on my wife, I don't cheat on my wife. So I get a chance to say all of that,
yeah. And
and
for them to hear it, yeah.
or they be surprised. You don't cuss? I said, no, I don't cuss. You don't say nothing? I was like, no, man, I don't have to cuss, man. You sure? Man, I know you cuss sometime. And I was like, what, I'm calling you something right now in my brain, but I just ain't letting it. No, it gets rough. They don't see brothers like that,
Yeah.
former athlete, this is a success story. You come back. I know I'm probably the best coach here in every sport: basketball, football, track and field, and there's a lot of coaches here that are more knowledgeable than me, but it's something in my heart that makes my teams win. It's been that way since LA. I won in LA, 1994. They said I was the number one coach in America in LA.
Wow.
I was the number one coach in America.
What sport?
Basketball.
Basketball.
A
Wow.
lot of cats you probably know in LA, they came through me.
That's
You probably didn't know that. Your cousin, that all these cats come through me. Gilbert Arenas.
whoa.
Wow. I looked up. Tayshaun Prince was with us as in California. Brandon Jennings was on the same team with my son. I was coaching that team. So, I've been around,
Yeah.
I've had my hands in a lot of stuff in LA.
You're putting in that work.
God is good.
Yeah. All the
So
time.
like he says, God is good,
Yeah. No, that's incredible. That's incredible. Gil.
I'm
Okay. 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 We're gonna have to. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna build this up. We're gonna get to the sports. I want to talk about your career. I want all of it. I need all of it because I need it all. So so drugs is like always an obvious go to when people are kind of criticizing inner city youth problems. Drugs,
Mhm.
gangs, usually like the number one things they go to. Since you have a more intimate insight into the kids that you're dealing with, what are some of the other out of school issues that you're seeing them having to deal with that are affecting their lives?
Well, a lot of them now, a lot of the kids are products of their parents or grandparents having been in crack cocaine. That's a problem. These are the
I
grandbabies.
just said
Um,
that. I just told my cousin that
these are the
earlier. I said the
grandbabies.
crack babies grew up. Talking about Oakland, I said
Right.
the crack
This,
babies finally
this
grew
is
up.
it. And we're still dealing with the epidemic of teenage pregnancy. We still got babies having babies.
Yeah.
Okay, in this town here, a lot of the parents, and even it was like that with my parents. Once you turn 13, you grown. I
Oh
mean, come
wow.
back when you want to. You be out all night. And they look up, hey, what are you doing driving a car? Hey, mom said I can drive. It's just You know,
Wow. Yeah.
the kids grow up in this towns like this. You have to be grown. A lot of times, mom and dad, if they don't have a good 9 to 5, they work a graveyard shift, and you got to be the man of the house. You got to stay home. You got to hold it down. You got to know where the gun is. All kind of stuff that that's what these kids are going through now. It
Yeah.
ain't so. It's really, to be honest, drugs is kind of dying down.
Oh
I
wow.
mean, yeah, it's not really. I mean, they smoke reefer and they got the electronic cigarettes and stuff, but the younger kids, they're not hitting the pipe or cracking like back in the '80s and '90s. They're not really doing that no more. That's you still have some that there is some kids that dibble and dabble in like meth and all of that, but those kids don't look like us. Okay, don't get it twisted.
They're not
Something they're doing, they don't look like us.
they're not still drinking lean and
Oh no,
syrup and
I didn't, it's a certain type of individuals that do lean.
okay.
Certain type of individuals do lean,
Yeah.
and it's not a crazy popular thing.
Gotcha.
The ones who do it, they got it because their mama do it. Okay, you had to get it from some. They've been
Yeah.
in that environment. Most of the kids would rather this new weed is good enough. They rather smoke this new weed. You don't
That's
need no
all I
lean.
need.
You don't need no lean. You smoke this new weed, you be about to die anyway.
So, so it sounds like it's just more of the early maturation that they're having to go through.
That's
And
it.
yeah, wow.
And you go through it. I mean, you spend some time trying to figure out who you are, what type of person you're gonna be. Are you gonna be a weed head? Are you gonna be a drinker? Are you gonna be a ladies' man? Are you gonna be a gambler? Are you
Yeah,
gonna be a workaholic? Or are you gonna live for the Lord? So everything you do, in this town, as you get older and older, you find out that you have a choice.
yeah,
And that's what we guys like myself come in, is trying to show guys that you got a choice. There's some choices you got to make,
yeah.
and every choice you make is going to dictate how you're going to end up.
I have another one of my good friends on here who's an educator here at a high school in Los Angeles. He was talking about how the environment with cell phones and social media, that all the teachers kind of have an understanding to not get caught doing the wrong thing, whether that just be saying the wrong thing or at a certain volume or using the wrong words or whatever the case is, and being caught on video and it turning into a much bigger thing than the moment actually was. Is that anything that you guys deal with out there?
Oh, this everything is recorded.
Hmm.
You can't do nothing. Every time a fight jump out, you can see that fight within the next 20 seconds on YouTube. Okay. I mean, that's just how it is. We got a bunch of promoters here. Everything is being promoted. Okay. These kids here, I stepped out the locker room for 20 seconds to come back and say, hey, yeah, you missed the fight here, but I got it, coach, and they show you the
Wow.
fight, you'd be like, whoa, so everybody's pulling out the cameras. It's good
Yeah.
and bad.
Right.
It's good and bad. Some of these teachers, everybody ain't saved. There is some
Yeah.
people that need to be caught. The only way to catch them is to show them this is you.
Wow.
I always, when I'm talking to kids, I use, I don't know if you guys know Kwame Kilpatrick as a model on what not to do. If you don't want nobody to know it, don't say it, don't type it, don't tweak it, don't Snapchat it, don't
Yeah.
don't don't do nothing.
Right.
You
Keep
can't,
it in here.
now you can't even tell them face to face because they probably recording you. Kwame Kilpatrick was the mayor of Detroit. He ended up doing a whole lot of time in prison because he got caught And he got caught because they found his text messages,
The old text messages.
the good old text messages. So we catch a lot of kids doing that, even in the schools. The parents come with us and say, "Look, he said you're gonna beat my kid up. Here, I got the text right here." And so yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, good old text messages, man. If they had them back in the day, the text messages would have brought the mob down. They'd have been like, hey.
I'm glad they ain't had text messages and cameras back in the day, because my mother probably be just getting out of prison. The way she was whooping us, I would have recorded her. I would have recorded her and told the people. Okay, look. Y'all need to come see what she doing to us.
Right.
Believe
it. Have you ever been in a situation where a student was trying to get you to fight them?
Oh, I better not say too much. I'm a big fella, so they used to, back before all these lawsuits started coming, they used to train us to take kids down. I know in California, I went to UCLA for professional assault response techniques. That's ways you can restrain a kid or put them on the ground and all of that. A lot of that has subsided because parents come back and sue you. But I always tell a kid that Mr. Brandon nervous. Okay, so don't get in my circle. Don't get in my circle. I'm just being honest with you. I wasn't always saved, but I don't know what I'm gonna do if you get too close.
Don't make me feel threatened. I just don't
want
to feel threatened.
I got a reputation of not defending myself, but making sure that you don't get the best of me physically. I'll say it like that. Yeah. You ain't running up on me. So, and they do. Kids want to fight. Some of the time it be the smallest kid. I'm like, man, I know you can't whoop me. You 105 pounds. You really want this? And I'll give it to him. I won't hit them, but boy, you would think they've been in a fight, boy. Yeah, okay, come on, run on up on me.
Right. Yeah, I've always looked at that as like when I see those videos and just some smart mouth kid that's just yelling at the teacher and calling him all kinds of names and everybody laughing. And he's like, yeah, and you ain't going, I'll whoop you. And I'm like, man, that has to be the worst. Like as the teacher, because you're looking at it like you're a child. You know what I mean? So there's a certain amount of restraint that I want to have because I would want someone to have that restraint with my child. Though my child wouldn't be doing this, but if they were, I wouldn't want some adult treating them like an adult. But at the same time, you have now entered into an adult space. You stepped out of your the safety net of being a child, and you've walked into the adult world.
I just usually, sometimes I laugh it off, and I tell them the truth. Boy, you don't want none of this, and they get too mad. This Reverend Sean, will kind of walk away a little bit, try to give them some space. But 1995 Sean would have put them on their back.
Yeah.
But I still don't know. I mean, I don't get that often. Most people know, every now and then you get a hothead kid, and I just let them talk. As long as you don't get in my circle or make me feel threatened, then I will be writing a letter as to why I put you on the ground.
Yeah.
I tell the mom, look, he took a swing at me and I didn't put him on the ground hard. I put him on there soft.
As soft as I could.
Soft as I could.
In the moment.
But that's a rarity, though. I'm be honest with you. The televisions and stuff, they don't do justice. Very few kids, most kids, they not trying no adults like that,
Yeah.
But you will run into those adults that, Yeah, well, come on with it then. You swing, I'm swinging.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got some of them now. We got some of them.
Oh, I
I'm
can
just not
imagine.
one of them. We got some of them that's, I'm getting fired today because if he
Right.
walk up on me, I'm whooping his behind. We got some ladies like that. You got
Sure.
some men like that. I'm just not like that.
Yeah, yeah. So
No,
is it harder being a teacher? I mean, I know you've been a teacher for a good amount of time, but we all kind of know the stories of, you know, teacher pay and teachers not being held to the greatest esteem as they should be kind of throughout the years. The identity of the teacher profession has always kind of been one that we felt needed more exalting. Do you feel like it's easier or harder being a teacher right now than it may have been 20, 30 years ago?
uh, I think anybody who joins the teaching profession now will be financially vindicated.
Mm,
That's one of the things
good thing.
it's going to be on everybody's platform as far as voting, elections and stuff. It's one of those professions where they're going to begin. It's not going to be very long. And it's already started in a lot of places where first year teachers can't come in there making $65,000-$70,000 a year,
That's
which that's not bad money. You don't work in December. You don't work in the summer. You never
right,
work
right,
nights. You don't work weekends. It's not bad.
right, right.
I got into this business for the vacation time.
Mm, yeah, it's good vacation time.
Yeah, that's why my wife is in it now because of the vacation time.
I
She
get
got
it.
tired of me being off while she's on.
I get it. I get it. All right. So another issue that I have to kind of tackle with you. You are a reverend, and
Hmm.
you're also a teacher. What we see in schools a lot right now are conversations about gender and pronouns and um, all of those things. Being a reverend, I can kind of understand what that side of you feels, but then I can imagine there's a potential that your teacher side presents another reality in your day-to-day life. So how do you handle that challenge, or is that challenge even presented to you at school where you're dealing with um, more genders than what spiritually?
Oh yeah, there's some of those folks in my building. Now, just kidding. Um, you know, you run across those all the time.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't let it um, deter me from doing the job that I'm supposed to do. I try to respect everybody and their wishes on who they think they are. I don't try to influence them one way or the other. Even though they know I'm a preacher, I don't preach them like that at school. I just let my light shine.
There you
Okay,
go.
I mean that
Yeah,
I shouldn't have to tell nobody that I believe in a certain way. They should know by the way I conduct and carry myself. So when
yeah,
those issues come up, they do come up. I try and handle them just like any other issue, and I look beyond that. I try to see everybody the way God would see them, so that I don't
yeah,
get caught up in that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You have to we have to be careful, even as a licensed preacher. You have to be careful on what you say and how you deal with folks because folks still will sue you. I don't got nothing, but they will try to sue me. Okay, but that's an issue in our schools. You do have people who want to be called something other than their birth name.
yeah.
And it doesn't really, it doesn't bother me because um, I always believe in my heart that I know the outcome at the end. So whatever
Mm,
they're going through now, I just let them go through it. And keep it moving. I keep it moving. I don't try to persuade them one way or the other. Okay, I just
Yeah.
keep it moving. If you're not in the hallway, I don't care what gender you think you are. Okay, we writing you up. Okay, if you're in the hall, we writing you up. You smoking, I don't care who you think you are. Okay, you probably going home. Okay, so but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's something that our society as a whole have adapted to. They try to make this here seem like it's the norm, that is
Huh.
okay. But when you're a parent and a father or a mother that don't think that is okay, the best thing you can do, like I said, is just let your light shine. I just make sure my voice get deeper and deeper. Make sure that that you constantly show the masculine side if you're supposed to be masculine. If you're supposed to be feminine, you most of the women show their feminine side, and we just don't say anything about it. It's one of those things. Don't talk. Kind of like the military. You don't talk. You don't. I don't want to get in no conversations about that at all. So they do
Yeah.
have staff who they
Yeah.
go to who may feel different than me. So they don't come to me. Which I'm happy that they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. They
Um,
know who to go.
they go to
Yeah.
somebody
They
that
know who
may
to
be
go
like
to.
them. so, so
Yeah. Yeah.
they're not coming to me because a lot of times everybody in this town know who my wife is. They know who my children are. They're in the newspapers all the time for sports and stuff. So
Yeah,
when,
no, that makes sense. They get it. I mean, it could be a bit sensationalized online because we see the students that are approaching a teacher demanding and going to the teachers that specifically don't follow their thinking and they why don't you and why won't you and will you stand here right now and tell me why, and so because we see it online, I think us not on campus think that it's happening more than it may be, or maybe it's happening in some areas more than others, but it sounds like you guys got a
it's
pretty
happening. Only way you get caught in that manner is I have to be one way all the time. If
huh,
I'm not one way all the time, then you get caught up in that. I'm this is the way I am. I'm straightforward. Okay, I don't have time to be paying attention to you. What I do teach all the time, and most kids can quote it. I don't have a problem as long as you keep your personal life personal.
huh,
Okay, if it spill over into what I'm doing, we may have an issue.
yeah,
Okay, keep your personal life personal. Don't start asking me about me and my wife. I'm not going to ask you about you and whoever. You keep your personal life personal. If you come in the school building, um, it's our business now. And if it's against what's supposed to happen, we we handle it accordingly. A lot of we do have some people that talk to people. And they handle them. They handle them, but most of the people who get assigned folks to get handled don't assign me. They walk right past my office. Now you better not go talk to him. You better not talk to him. You
right,
know,
right,
but
right.
again, I do have some people who I do have staff. Not I can't say a relationship, but I know them. Um, and I don't get into those conversations with them. I continue to let my light shine, and that's the best thing I could do, especially dealing with the young kids whose minds really. I always think that their minds really are not made up yet, so I have
Right.
to just let my light shine instead of trying to persuade one way or the other. Don't that make sense? Didn't I say that right?
You got it. You got it.
Hey, if I agree, then they're gonna throw it up against me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go over there. Yeah, he'll let y'all. But if I
Yeah.
if I maintain who I am and integrity, and hey, keep your life, keep personal. No physical contact. Y'all can't do that here. I don't, whether it's a boy and a girl or two boys or two girls, you can't do that here. No physical contact.
Yeah.
If you stay one way,
Yeah.
you're good. Because
Yeah.
I can help another person's. You can help another person's child. I would hate for my child to be undecided, and then at school, an adult helps them decide one way or
Yeah.
the other. I would be mad and I would have a problem.
Yeah.
I would have
Absolutely.
a problem. I would have a problem. So I just kind of let my light shine, keep it moving, keep it moving, okay, keep your personal life personal, and we good.
Man, there are so many nuances to being a teacher. Thinking about how schools used to have prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance and spankings and all these a completely different model of an educational parental system that was implemented compared to what it is now is like it seems like almost night and day. But so for you, someone who had your troubles as a childhood behavior wise, and then
That's a good way to put it.
that's what we do, and then grew up and then had this sports life, right? What
Mm-hmm.
was the what was the moment or the light bulb that then made you go, I'm going to be a teacher? How did you
Well,
decide on that career?
I never thought about it. When I was 15, I was working at the school, and one of the guys in charge, he said, I got to leave and run an errand. I'll be right back. And he left, and I'm sitting there going, dang, you don't leave me with all these kids? And he come back, and I had them all organized. He was like, you're going to be a teacher. And I kept saying, no, no, I'm not. I'm just here for the summer job. He was like,
Oh
no, man,
no,
you
I'm
keep
not.
the teaching. I said, no, I'm not. Oh, no, I'm not.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
You know,
I am not.
when I first went into the classroom, I called him and he said, I told you. I knew you was gonna coach. I knew you was gonna teach. And this was like in 89, 90. I was like, yeah, I like it, I like it, and I never wanted to be in the classroom
Huh.
as opposed to I liked it better teaching like gym class,
Huh.
um, and just coaching. And then I got into the behavior part of it, and the psychology of trying to turn a kid around behaviorally became more intriguing.
Uh,
So to me that's the more needed thing. You know, especially in the Black community, I thought we people like myself that have been through the trenches. Parents, incarceration and everything in life that could have turned a kid bad, you know, turned the kid good. So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
it's interesting. I have an interesting life.
Well, let's get to another part of it. Sports. I've heard you talk track, basketball, football, baseball. So I'm assuming that once I ask you about your childhood heroes, I'm going to hear names like Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Michael Jordan, people that were like two sport greats. But who did you look to that made you become the athlete that you became?
You know, I never really looked at other athletes because I always kind of considered myself one of them. So
Ooh.
yeah, I look up. I'm in the gym on the same floor with Glenn Rice, Andre Bad Moon Rise, and
Hello.
this is my neighborhood. So,
Oh
um,
wow. Okay,
Flint is a hotbed for NBA talent.
that's a fact.
So,
That's
so,
a
so
fact.
it was hard to. I mean, everybody could hoop. Everybody in town when I came out, everybody could hoop. Everybody was Division I talent. So it was hard for me to say, "Oh yeah, I look up to this guy here." No,
Not even people before you, like the Isaiah Thomases or the
well,
Stephen
I
Irvings.
obviously Magic.
Magic.
Magic. I remember going to one of Magic camps, and it was Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, and Mark Aguirre, and I liked it, but I left out of there kind of knowing that dang, I got to put in a lot of work.
Mm,
And the first chance I got to be on the other side of it, um, I took it and ran with it. I ran with it. I started studying people at that time at a very young age. I was a Bobby Knight fan. I would go to Bobby Knight camps and clinics and try to pick his brain.
nice.
A lot of the old school guys. I would try Henry Bibby. I
Mm,
got a chance being in LA to pick his brain. So I had some coaching mentors that kind of kept me into the sports game because I had knew it was done for me. I joined the Navy, so I was done. And right after the Navy, I got an opportunity to get in, and I got in on the ground level, and kicked the door wide open.
oh
Just
yeah.
just by seeing some coaches, Tiny in LA. Coach Tiny was just like amazing. Willie West was amazing. These was amazing guys that was in my circle.
Wow.
So I was like,
And
I'm
they,
around the
and they
best.
shaped you.
I just took a little bit of everybody and said, I'm gonna be better than all of these cats. Okay. I'm gonna be better than all of these cats. And I looked around, I had all the top players in Southern California on one team.
Huh.
And we would travel around the country. We had Nike deal. I mean, these kids were, it was interesting. It was interesting. My house looked like Foot Locker. It was interesting.
Now hold
Uh,
on. This is you as a coach.
hmm I, I,
Gotcha.
I got into there quick.
Yeah.
Basketball, I looked up to as a player. I don't know if you remember guys like Eric Turner. Eric Turner came out of Michigan. His
Okay.
dad was one of my high school coaches,
Nice.
and I got a chance to train with him. Trent Tucker. Trent Tucker was from my high school. So those are guys as a player that I got a chance to see them. But it was funny because even seeing them, the guys that were in my class made it further than them faster. So, I'm like, wow. Jim Abbott, the one arm pitcher. These are guys that are in our neighborhood. They far exceeded Trent Tucker and those guys who went pro. They
Wow.
went pro. These guys didn't just go pro. I mean, Glenn Rice, he ended up being the top scorer in NCAA history. He won the All-Star game MVP. He
Yep.
won the three-point shooting contest.
Yep.
He won the
Easy.
a ring with the Lakers. I mean, these are my friends. I'm like, wow. So it was hard for me to, as a player, to have somebody who, I know I looked up to them or wished I would have had some opportunities that they had. I mean, Bad Moon Rising, he had to deal with Left Eye and he playing with Dion and all of that, and we're kind of family. We share the same nephew.
Okay.
So some of them got some good breaks,
Yeah. Sometimes
some
they say that's all it is. It's just a little bit of luck just might lean to one person over the next.
that's it.
Just a moment. You just happen
Little
to have
break,
that moment.
little breaks. And
Yeah.
I wasn't a great baseball player. I loved baseball. I wasn't a great wrestler. I loved wrestling. I hated to just be on the wrestling team forever. Um, I was good at football, but I hated it.
What position in football?
In football, I played running back. I hated it. I hated getting hit, the cold weather. My brother was a better football player, so I
I
you know,
hated it.
that wasn't it. I just when my time was over in high school, that was it. I I started hooping.
Mm.
Once I started hooping around 15, 16, I knew that I was a hooper.
How tall were you around then?
Well, it was funny because going into the eighth grade year, I was 4'11", and then when ninth grade came down, I was 5'8". You know, I
Wow.
was 5'8". That's when I said, no more wrestling, you guys. No, don't call me. I'm going to the leagues. Don't call me. And I only grew 3 inches since. But
So what were
yeah,
you playing, like guard or forward?
no, I always played the two
Played two
until I
roles.
until I until I got out of high school and started trying out for teams after high school, and they started trying to tell me to play the one,
Hmm.
Um, but I always played the two. I still shoot like I'm 14, 15 years old. I do really well with shooting camps. I've toured with a lot of the NBA top shooting instructors.
Wow.
I've had a lot of good people come my way just to shoot the jump shot.
Nice.
That was it. I
Respect.
could shoot. I wasn't
Respect.
playing no defense. I wasn't coming down. Don't ask me to rebound. You know,
All offense.
that's it.
All offense.
I'm just shooting. I'm open.
Right.
Pass it in. I'm open. I'm not taking it out. I'm open.
Right.
I'm open.
That's why you want to play the two guard. You like, just
That's it. I'm open.
get my spot. Bam.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up, though. They would just tell me to go to a spot and stay
Yeah.
because we had guys like, Andre Rison, obviously, Jeff Greer. We had guys that could do everything. All I had to do was stand there, and when the ball come to me, let it go.
Fire it off.
Let it go. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Sports is interesting for me. I've been all around the country. I've had everybody's kid on my team, from Darryl Strawberry, Michael Cooper, Denzel Washington,
Jeez.
Marcus Johnson, Byron Scott. Everybody was bringing me their kids at one time. They were like, "Look, you got to train him. You got to train him." So
Wow.
it was very, very. I will say this: basketball has been good to me. I run leagues right now. And I don't know why I do it, but it's been good. I mean, the leagues I do now. I got a 4-year-old league, 4 and 5-year-olds. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. It's like tackle basketball. It's crazy. The kids don't hear the whistle or nothing. They just grab each other's shirts and by the neck and everything. You spend more time going, "Hey, stop! Let him go! Hey, you can't do that."
All right. Right. Game end 4-2.
No, they play. They play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they play. I bring the rim down to 7 feet.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I got that from LA. That's something I got from LA. When my son was younger, all he could do was dribble. He was 2. And they said, "Well, put him in the league." And I said, "Well, what are you going to do?" They said, "He's just going to dribble." Till he got old enough to make a basket. And when I moved back to Flint, they didn't have those programs. So I brought them.
Yeah, you said you brought LA to Flint. I mean,
Yeah.
listening to your story, how you had all the everybody's kids coming through you, you kind of reminded me of Deion Sanders to
That's
Colorado right now. It's like,
That's it.
go to this team that don't really got it going on and start bringing everything that you know to it. So being in Flint and working with so many people like you have you been able to bring those types of faces and names to Flint to inspire the kids in these programs?
Well, no. Only person that's come was Brandon Jennings. He was with the Pistons. He was playing with the Pistons, so everybody knew he was from my team. Tayshaun Prince, he was with the Pistons.
Yep.
So Amir Johnson, he was with the Pistons. These are LA guys, so they were with the Pistons. So I didn't have to do too much. But even the guys that was in Flint that had the same story as those guys, they come to my school and they talk to kids.
Right.
I get Jeff Greer. He played with the Milwaukee and Golden State. He come, he went to the Olympics. He come and share his story. So I often bring a little bit of flavor, to the banquets or to my. I got a group called Boys to Mentors.
Hmm.
I run a group called Boys to Mentors. We meet once a week, and every week I bring in a keynote speaker
Nice.
from just different walks of life. I mean, not just sports, but I do bring in the sports. I bring in judges. I brought in the mayor. I bring in prison guards, the Navy, the Army, whatever it is. I bring them in, and just so the kids can understand that college ain't for everybody.
Hmm.
It's not. College is not for everybody. You have to have a desire to want to be successful.
Yeah.
That's something that everybody could have,
Yeah.
with or without college. Man, I brought this guy in. I knew as a kid, and he's running this town, and I thought he was going to be a horrible speaker, and he owns the mortuary. They listened to him like he was the Lord. I was like, what? He was telling kids, y'all gonna see me one way or the other. Half of y'all know
Oh.
me already. I've dealt with, and they just sit back and they listen to his story from how he just started with one funeral home. Now I got 3. Now I own the ambulance company. Now I own the nightclub. Y'all parents don't have a way to avoid me. So I bring in people
Yeah.
from all walks of life, the
Yeah.
athletes and stuff. And
Boys to mentor. Boys to mentorship. I like that.
I got that from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Really?
Yeah, the whole program he wrote, and I mimicked it and put what was relevant to my community. But he wrote that program. He wrote that. I also did work with his son too. Back in the day, he had a son that was playing. But yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote Boys to Mentors.
Wow. Wow. That's pretty cool. Do you often or ever bring that up to the kids in the program?
Um,
Or does it just not come up?
Sometimes it all depends on whether if I'm doing a quote,
Yeah.
because a lot of things he say make sense.
Yeah.
He starts it out with like 10 different quotes. Why do a young kid want to listen to an old guy? And then just different things.
Yeah.
So I every week I do a different theme, and it's good. It's
And so,
good.
so somewhere in the midst of um, this sports world and this life that you're building, and I know we're not going too personal as far as like relationships and kids and families and vacations and all of that stuff, but in the midst of your life developing, somewhere that hat becomes relevant. Somewhere you become a reverend. Somewhere down on that timeline, you said you were ordained.
You know, the only problem that I have with God, and I don't know if it's a problem, it's just not enough hours in a day.
Hmm.
But you learn as you get older to cut your day, slice your day. You'd be surprised. I get up in the morning, I go to work. Right after work, I go to the middle school to teach football. Right after football, I go to the church to teach the basketball. Okay, and then that's a couple days out the week. Then in the middle on the Wednesday after football, I have to go to Bible class. Then if I got to preach that Sunday, I gotta get prepared. That's the life.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I found that the best way to overcome a lot of life's drawbacks is to eliminate a lot of the idle time.
Hmm. That's a
You know,
struggle. That's a
you,
struggle.
you eliminate the idle time. So I really, it's nothing for me and my wife. We be tired all the time. Now she don't went back to college, so we if we get to sleep before 10, 11 o'clock, we good. Okay, but a lot of times we don't. It seems like I'm
Wow.
still on LA time. I mean, I'm up.
Yeah.
I'm up doing stuff. I mean, we got so much stuff going on. Um, I got a good wife. So I just, I don't tell her all the time because she, like any other wife, she get on my nerves.
Preach, Pastor, preach.
but but she have it written down.
You said it right. Said I don't tell her as often as I should. You said it
She
right.
have it written down, and she'll say, you know, like tonight, I said, I think I'm supposed to do a podcast. She said, well, let me check. Okay. Well, yeah, you are in about an hour. So I mean, stuff like that comes in handy, and again, I don't have no complaints.
So let's touch on that, because you said you speak on that when you're talking to the kids, letting them know that you got the same wife. You said 17 years.
No, we've been. This is 33.
33 years. Oh, how I got that mixed up.
I think
You
it's
better be
33.
right.
I better get that right because she
Better be
listened.
right.
I'm trying to make sure I get it right.
You,
Yeah, we've been together 33, 34 years.
Okay. So then, because you bring that up to the kids and whatnot, I don't know if it comes up in your discussions with them, but what do you tell them are um, some of your recipe and how you guys have been able to continue this run for so long?
Oh, this comes up every day, all day. All day, the boys come in there arguing and they fighting girls, and I tell them the truth, son. I've been married over 30 years. I ain't won an argument with a woman yet. You ain't gonna win one, okay? And I mean, I just tell the truth. Even when I'm right, I lose. Even when I'm right, I lose. Hey, turn right. Oh, I turn left, and then I'm good. Oh, but you still should have turned right. So. I tell them, I said, that's what they make gasoline and good cars for. You get in your car and you take a long drive. That happens. I literally say that almost every day.
Wow.
Boy, I haven't won an argument with a woman in the last 30-something years. Okay, and I don't think I'm going to win one. Anybody who has a wife knows that. Women argue better than men because they know that.
No. Before you say that, Chris Rock said it best. Chris Rock said, the reason that you ain't gonna win is because you need to make sense.
That's it.
He said, a woman ain't gonna let no little silly thing like sense get in the way of winning the argument.
Nope.
It's just not gonna happen.
And most women know that if you're any kind of man, you're not gonna knock the mess out of them. So they just keep talking. Just keep talking. Keep talking. Just keep talking. You just have to humble yourself and go to sleep or something, Go to the bathroom and close the door, or walk outside. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's spot on. It's interesting that you say you that comes up every day.
Every day. That's one of the biggest things. Kids come to my office, a boy and a girl arguing in the classroom and all of this stuff. And I just have to tell the boy when he by himself, man, you ain't gonna win that argument. Yeah, she gonna be clowning you. Are you crazy? When the girls usually clown the guys, they'll say some of the worst things. There's two things I always say. Girls have a trigger. And once you hit that trigger, you're in trouble. You call them that B word, you're in trouble. That's it. That's the end of it. Y'all probably gonna fight. She gonna hit you. She gonna do some stuff. And with us boys, men, we talk to each other. We call each other all kind of names. It don't bother us. But you can't talk about our mamas. That's that's a trigger,
That's a
Or even
trigger.
growing up, my mother used to always say, "They don't fight for me." But then when that boy at that park, that boy in that park or that school say something about my mother, yeah, I know I'm gonna be in the principal's office because
That's different.
it's different,
Yeah,
So
different. Yeah.
it's good, man. We just
And you have sons and daughters?
I have an oldest son,
Uh-huh.
and we got 3 or 4 kids who we call our adopted children,
Okay.
who we help raise some down growing up. But with my wife, I got one oldest son. He's the oldest. Sean, he'll be 33. He'll be 33 in a couple weeks.
Very nice.
In 10 days or 15, 2 weeks, he'll be 33.
Yeah.
And I got 3 daughters, so pray for me. I'm in a house full of
I'm
girls.
I'm I'm praying. I'm praying. They say when you have a son, you got to worry about one
That's it.
thing. If you have a
That's
daughter,
it.
you got to worry
That's
about
it.
everybody's.
That's it. That's
Yours
it.
is yours is times three. Mine is times two. So I do understand your pain. So since you've kind of been through it a little bit, knowing that there's such a difference, because I struggle with this sometimes as a parent, knowing there's such a difference with, men or boys when they turn to men in the world and girls when they turn to women in the world, trying to treat them and teach them the same, but knowing that you also have to do it differently. Was that ever a struggle for you?
It's always a struggle, which as a man, a head of the household figure, if you are the head of your household, as most men should be, you want to make sure that guys who come at my door, they got to come through me.
Huh.
I mean, they know that. I mean, that's part of the rearing as a dad. When you bring up your girl, you got a boyfriend, you got somebody you like. The first thing you got to do, you got to bring, you got to bring him on in, and me and your mom, we'll check him out. We'll let you know thumbs up or thumbs down. If they don't bring him in, we know he up to something. They tell him he not welcome around here.
Yeah.
And you find that to be the same thing with the boys too. Even with my son, when he really liked a girl, she would come over.
Huh.
But then we had to put the brakes because he started really liking a lot of girls. So, wait a minute, son, you can't bring them all over here. They want to kill him and everything else. Hey, you better come outside and I'm gonna bust his windshield. Son, you better go outside and handle that one, son.
All right. All right.
But it's the same pattern. If you have a 2-parent home or a strong 1-parent home, you always teach your child, if they're afraid to meet your parents, something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
You
and then I noticed, and I didn't know this obviously as a kid because I didn't grow up with any sisters, but my wife has taught me about the bad boy syndrome.
Yeah.
That the boy that is wrong, the boy that dad don't like, the boy that ain't doing everything like the nice guys. That's the one that the girls tend to reach towards. So when you get to your give them the thumbs up, thumbs down treatment, are you ever concerned that thumbs down to her might be like,
You know, you hold on to that till they get a certain age. And once they get a certain age, you just have to you be like, well, that's on you. That's on you. But as they become teenagers, girls typically try to gravitate toward guys that have similar characteristics that their father have. That's the only way you're gonna get my daughter out the house,
yeah, yeah,
And by us being church going folks, if he not even faking like he going to church, he I'm the easy one, but the wife be the hard one. Okay, you mean he don't know no God? What kind of dude is this? Wait, he don't go nowhere.
not
You
even
dating
he
the
ain't even
devil?
he ain't even the see me Christian, the Christian Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter. He can't even get that.
You go. Wait, you mean to tell me they don't go nowhere? Okay, I can hear my wife now. You mean nothing? They don't got look. They don't go at all. You like him? What about him you like?
You don't know. He don't know no God.
No God at all. Oh no, you ain't going over there. You know, you
Right.
can't go over there. You go, no, don't bring him over here.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but most of the people who gravitate toward my kids, um, the whole town know we church going folks.
Huh.
So they either church going folks or fake it, one of the two.
Yeah.
We have some guys, that'll fake it, or they'll go to church long enough to see if my daughters like them, and if they don't like them, then they'll stop coming. you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
most of them know, if I like her, I better pop up at the dad's and them church a few times, and
Show my face.
just show my face, drop, and so
Put a dollar. Put a dollar
yeah,
in the.
drop a little something. Let the dad see
Make sure
me
they see
giving.
me.
Yeah, let the
Right.
dad see me giving, and but that it holds the same for the girls and the boys, and then as they get older, as a dad, you gonna care, but not that much,
Yeah.
not that much. We just want them to get married. Get married. So we, 'cause once you notice, you're gonna find this as you get older and older. No matter if they're grown or not, they're still your responsibility until they get married.
Mm.
So I'll be ready for them to get married, so I can just cut the umbilical cord. Nah, you ain't on my phone bill. Nah, you ain't on my insurance, not my medical, nothing. You on his stuff. And
Yeah.
I only got one. I
That
got
takes
one
some
daughter
growth.
married.
Yeah, that takes some growth. It's a beautiful thing how God allows you to kind of grow into that understanding, because when they're like 3, 4 years old, you can't even imagine them wanting privacy. It's like this is that's my baby. But then as time goes on, it's like you slowly start to open that grip and understand, like, okay, I can't squeeze you in here forever. I gotta let you breathe, let you live.
Yeah. Well, all of our kids, as a youngster, I'm a firm believer that young kids should experience a lot of different things, especially sports.
Huh.
They all played everything. You live in our house, you're gonna play t-ball. If you don't want to play football and you're a girl, you're gonna be on the cheerleading squad. You're gonna play basketball. Then once you get to a certain age, if especially if you're one of my kids who ain't got no skills, we find something else for you to do. But
Right.
it's very important. All of my kids play every sport, and then I got the youngest one. She's on the keys. She plays the organ, piano as well. Um, and that's how they're able to decide which type of guy they like. My
Yeah.
kids would be like, "Dad, you like him? He on the team." I'll be like, you know, I kind of want him to be on the team so he can go to practice and leave my daughter alone. Go to practice, boy. Go to practice. So if they ain't on the team, they have a hard time in our house. If they're not on the team, they will spend too much time with my daughter. You
Right.
know,
Right.
you don't get no separation. So that's a good thing. Keep them on the team. Keep them busy. When they call, she ain't here. Nah, she gone. She won't be back till 7:30, 8 o'clock. Then she gonna be going to sleep. She gone. So
I
we
like
keep
it.
them busy. We keep them busy.
I like it. Keep them on the team. So speaking of teams, who is your team? Who's your football team? We're in the NFL season right now. I
I
mean, you
didn't
from
know
Cal, you
these.
Cali, but you Michigan. I'm trying to see which
I'm
direction
not
you
a
want to
Lions
go.
fan. Oh, I'm not a Lions fan at all.
Okay, not a Lions fan.
I'm
Okay,
not a Lions fan. I was Tampa Bay.
okay,
I'm not there, because I'm, coming from California. I'm a Tom Brady guy.
okay.
Um, Now I think I like the Dallas Cowboys. And I grew up a Steeler fan, but
Mm.
I like Dallas, and
And
I
so,
like
what is it? What is it about? When did this start, and what is it about the Dallas team now that's kind of gravitating you towards them?
well any team that has one of those running quarterbacks. it's very exciting to watch.
Yeah.
So obviously I like that. I think it's comical because they have an owner that's very hands on. So you be kind of watching what he gonna do. And it's kind of intriguing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of intriguing, but I also like the Ravens.
Love the
The
Ravens.
Ravens got this guy, man, now that's just like,
Lights out.
yeah, I
Lights
love
out.
the Ravens. I love the boy that played with the Chiefs. Um,
Holmes.
yeah, the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The, a lot of these guys are, we're doing some really good stuff with football right now. If you want to win, you better get you one of them brothers.
You
Okay,
better. You better.
you better get one of them brothers that can take a hit.
Because back in the day, I saw they put out a it was like a memo between the owners in the NFL, and they talked about how the black athletes were really great, speed positions and power positions, but they didn't possess the intellectual fortitude to be a quarterback.
Yeah,
And by and by, we are proving them wrong once again because I mean, just look at last year's Super Bowl. First time you got two black quarterbacks, AFC and NFC, dominating the league, going head to head in the Super Bowl. So,
and I coach like that. It's funny. It's funny because I never thought about it. Um, my son only played quarterback
hmm,
all the way through. Pop Warner, uh, middle school, high school, one position, and he wasn't a running quarterback. He
he's
threw the
pocket.
ball. He could throw the ball. He ended up being a good runner. I used to help run a camp called Quarterback and Receiver Camp, QBR Camp.
Hmm,
And we used to have all the top quarterbacks, the Heisman winners and stuff. And we knew right away whether or not a African American guy was going to be a quarterback or not by his mechanics. If he
hmm.
didn't have those quarterback mechanics, we knew that they were either going to shift him to wide receiver or you just be, something, a flanker
Yeah.
or something, But we had some good models when I first started coaching tackle football as far as quarterbacks. Our motto was Doug Williams.
Huh.
Doug Williams was good, and there was a guy from L.A. I don't know if you remember him, Warren Moon.
Yeah.
Warren Moon was at Baldwin Hills. He's from Baldwin Hills,
Later
and
played for the Oilers.
yeah,
Yeah.
Warren Moon was. So we was those two guys. And you mentioned something earlier, and I forgot to say something. Bo Jackson is a friend. He is a friend of mine. He is a friend of mine. I took all of my coaches, because we didn't have Pop Warner in Flint. So when I got back here, there was no Pop Warner. So I started Pop Warner. And so I
Hmm.
took all the Pop Warners to Bo Jackson's facility in Chicago
Oh
to
wow.
meet Bo Jackson.
Very
And,
cool.
that's funny. That's funny that you
That
mentioned to Bo Jackson. Yeah, that was a highlight. We went there to meet Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. That's crazy. Yeah, that was the first name I mentioned too.
That's Bo. Bo
Bo
knows
Jackson.
football.
Bo don't know diddly. They were just talking about Bo's speed, and they were talking about how Bo is fast, but he's not as fast as Barry.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, very recently, I saw an interview with Bo maybe like 3 weeks ago, and he was talking about how he remembers being in the, I think it was in the combine, but running, but he let up at the end, and they had it at like I forgot what it was, 4.3, 4.2, something like that. And one of the coaches said, "Don't let up, like run all the way through." And so he did it again, but he did it unofficially, like he had already did his time. When they were done, he ran it again just so people could see him. He said on people's stopwatches, some people had him at 3.9, some people had him at 4 flat. I'm like, I don't know. Bo looked pretty fast to me, and he was bigger.
Bo was fast.
Bo was a
Um,
beast.
that other guy was probably faster. Deion Sanders he's faster.
Oh yeah, Dion had a
And,
stride, boy.
we took our coaches to meet the fastest guy in the NFL. At that time, we went and I ran his camp.
Hmm.
Devin Hester.
Oh, I remember Devin Hester. Yeah.
Devin Hester was. I ran his camp, and he was. You know, it was amazing. That's the fastest guy I ever saw.
Wow.
You know, he just. You know, he challenged everybody in the whole building. You know, and he would give him like a 30, 40-yard head start. Okay? And he would just. He was sick with it. He was sick
Lightning.
with it.
He played for the Bears.
Play for the Bears, Devin
Yeah.
Hester.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Devin Hester. I didn't realize how fast he was though.
He was
I didn't
fast.
realize how fast he was.
Yeah.
I, I,
So,
I,
so again, I got a crazy history with sports. I
yeah.
mean, obviously, you can tell I've been around sports. I was with that whole Daryl Strawberry saga. Wow. I mean, I've been around the whole Westchester guys. Those guys played for me. And it's funny. I didn't think that I could be as dominant in LA as it turned out to be.
Yeah.
My son is trying to do the same thing in another city. And I told him it's hard because when you're not from there, the hometown people, they give you a hard time until you win.
Yeah. That's
You
it.
know, once I start going to national championships and everybody, hey, this guy won, he's doing this, he's doing that. And then,
Yeah. Put respect
I
on
was
it.
I was able to, we played a lot. I don't know if you're familiar with Rancho Park.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No.
we grew up in Rancho Park is where I learned how to coach. Rancho
Wow.
Park, Dorsey High School, right
Doris.
there, and
Yeah.
I learned how to coach right there. And so, but I wasn't receptive at first. I was an outsider. I'm not a blood. I'm not a crip. I'm in the blood neighborhood. I just coach basketball.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
it just took off from there. God
Yeah.
is.
That's awesome. That's awesome because it is. I would love. I know you're busy. They're busy, but obviously, and wanting to get the best conversations for the people watching the Pod is Good podcast. I wish I could get you and some of your sports friends back on because sometimes hearing you guys hash out these stories from when you were younger or long before the leagues or what it was like this and that and going back to the town where we used to do this, those are so those stories are so entertaining and infectious and even motivating a lot of times just to hear people go through where they were
Let's just
where they
work
are
on
now.
it. Let's work on it. There's two guys that do podcasts right now that's really big. Gilbert Arenas, obviously he lives behind
Yeah.
me in North Hollywood. So we kind of his dad and I, we kind of formed a bond. And Baron Davis,
Hmm.
I just happened to turn on Baron Davis podcast one day, and all he was talking about was me. It was like, if you played for Sean Brandon, you had to be tough. Okay, you had to be tough. Sean Brandon was crazy. He'd throw a chair. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Those guys have some really big podcasts.
Yeah.
That's everybody's out. It was, oh man, I mean, it's been going for a minute. I remember them bringing me up during the All-Star game.
Hmm.
So it's interesting. I've
Yeah.
had an interesting life, this sports has led me to. We didn't even talk about television.
I didn't
Oh
even know there was television to talk about.
yeah, I played a coach on a show called came on Lifetime, Strong Medicine.
A
It's
word?
produced by Whoopi Goldberg. Um,
What?
yeah, I think I got one or two episodes where I'm on, and then a private investigator or with Dad with David Allen Greer. I
Ah.
was on the episode with him and John Sally. Um, Seventh Heaven. I think I'm on their first one or two episodes. Um,
Look at him.
just hey, all because
Look at him.
I coached basketball at Montclair Prep,
Yeah.
and that was in the Valley, and it was just all the kids' parents were actors and producers.
That's true. That's the valley.
And the guy said, "Well, can you make actors look like they can play basketball?" He started telling me the money. I was like, "Yeah, I could do it." Yeah,
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
And he started floating my name around, and I would go in as a tech advisor, and some kind of way I'd find my way on the TV. My mother and them was back in Michigan, going, "Hey, there he is, right there, brother number 3."
That's one thing people don't understand about Hollywood. Sometimes you sit back and you're like, well, why do they keep picking, Kevin Hart to do all these parts? Or why do they keep picking Lisa Leslie to do all these parts? And you just keep seeing this regurgitation of the same actors. But Hollywood is really small.
Small.
It's not as big as its persona is. Its persona is global, but the actual city is really small, and the network in that city is even smaller. And so once people like you,
That's
as
it.
long as they can find out you do something, they'll always be trying to get you to do it because there ain't a ton of people there. So it's like, oh, you a coach and you good and you got a personality and
That's
okay,
it.
cool. You're the guy.
I met Michael Gross. Michael Gross was the dad on Family Matters with Michael J. Fox.
Oh yeah.
Family Ties, the guy with the beard.
Yep.
And his family was in my gym class, and I guess the boy went home and told him, say, "Hey, I like my JV coach and my PE teacher," and they just, they showed me how to do central casting, and wow, I mean, they from that point on, I was gone. I mean, I've done so much stuff as far as I don't even believe I'm from Flint no more. I just I was Smokey Robinson's escort when he got his Grammys. Okay, I
Come
escorted
on.
Smokey. I
Come
was what you
on.
call a seat filler.
Seat filler, yeah.
And when Smokey got ready to come down, I'd have to go and get him and walk down and walk back up.
Wow.
And I mean, I did the Academy Awards. God is good. I told you, I don't have no complaints. It's just not enough time in the day. That's the only complaint I have. There's not enough time in the day.
You've been out here, sir. You've been
I've
out
been
here.
I've been all over that place. I tell you the truth. I've been all over that place. I
That's
sold
dope.
apartment units for Remax Commercial.
Yeah.
I had an office on Ventura Boulevard. And I found out I don't like selling. I don't like selling apartments. Don't like that. You don't get paid fast enough.
True.
But it's a lucrative. The guy I was with is now a multi-millionaire. So I like I said, basketball and my faith has been good to me.
And allow you to branch out.
Allow you to branch out
and do so many things.
You meet different people, different things. I never thought I would be like one of the top guys in Hollywood that was training actors to look like they play basketball and stuff, and it was just, one guy put my name out there and he was big.
Yeah. That's all it takes.
I mean, I was rubbing elbows with then Bruce Jenner. Okay.
The Olympian Bruce Jenner.
The Olympian Bruce Jenner. He
The
had a son.
Wheaties box, Bruce.
I had Khloe Kardashian was in my gym class at
Huh.
this school. Khloe was in my gym class at this school here. So it was crazy, man. I mean the
Well,
things.
what was she like? Do you remember her?
Um, I just remember she had a big old head. You know, I mean, she doesn't look that way anymore. I mean, money really helps you
Well,
out a
I mean,
lot.
her head's still a little big.
But she should try to show my daughter how to roll her skirt up to make her skirt a mini skirt. Because we
Oh
wore
wow.
uniforms there. Yeah, Chloe was in there. Wow. Simpson. What's her name? Lionel Richie daughter.
Oh. Um.
Nicole Richie.
Yeah.
Nicole Richie was there. I had Michael Jackson's nephew Ziggy. It was Tito's son. I've been to Neverland twice. Weirdest thing in the world. Weirdest thing in the world. God.
How you getting Neverland?
I was working at a school called New School for Child Development, and Michael Jackson was one of their top sponsors. So they said, bring all the kids for a field trip, And we walked in there, and it was just the weirdest thing in the world, Everybody had to stand in a straight line, They was like, don't look at him in his face and shake his hand and just keep on going. And it was.
That's crazy. You say that. Who was just um who somebody was just talking about a story where Memphis Bleak, Jay Z's friend, when Jay Z brought Michael Jackson out at a concert. I think it was like some summer jam or some kind of concert that was in New York. He brought Michael on stage. Michael just kind of waved at everybody, but Memphis was talking about how backstage that's what was that same thing you just said. His Michael's people came in and told everybody that was in the room, unless they had like there were, Jay-Z had it and a couple other people close to him, like these specific passes. Unless you got that, you got to turn and face the wall.
Yeah.
And and everybody had to turn and face the wall because Michael didn't want anybody coming in and looking at him eye to eye, like
That
didn't
was
want any
crazy.
eye contact with anybody.
That was crazy. He shook our hand and he had a glove on. Okay. He was like,
Before COVID.
oh yeah. I thought that was the weirdest thing in the world. They would. I mean, we had. You're right. We had a whole bunch of things. You had to walk in a straight line. Don't look like just walk right by them. Stick your hand out. And just keep on moving.
That's
I
kind of
I,
weird.
I
It's
originally
kind of
busted
weird.
his nephew. I busted his nephew for weed. He had brought weed to the school. And they had to kick him out the school. It was a private school though, Montclair private school.
Yeah,
And he brought weed to the school, and they had to let him go.
that's crazy. I wonder how that. Well, I mean, I guess I can ask you, how did it feel to meet, such a mogul, such a legend, a superstar, potentially a once in a lifetime moment, and then for it to kind of go that way?
I never thought I met him. Okay, and this was the second time. I was like, I wanted to kind of, grab his hand and pull it a chest bump. Hey, but you see, like you do that, his handlers will probably shoot you or something.
For real.
I mean, it was really one time he came to the school and we just passed through. He was in a room and you just same thing. You just pass through, basically get a glimpse at him and love, peace, happiness, and you keep on moving.
That's it.
Just keep on moving. That was the weirdest thing
Dude,
ever.
it sounds weird. When I heard Memphis talking about it, it sounds weird. Hearing your story, it sounds weird, and it feels like come on, Mike, you from Gary, Indiana. That's dang near in Indiana's Flint. Like, come on, what we
That's it.
doing? What we doing?
That's it.
Stop acting.
So it's been interesting, I again, God has been good, I'm glad we're talking though, I still didn't figure out how are we cousins again.
We will have to. I'm telling you, we have to go to the proprietor of Ancestry.com of our family. My mom, she knows exactly. If she's watching right now, she
You must
knows
be
exactly.
related to Uncle George.
Possibly, I know it's on my grandfather's side, I believe. So I believe my grandfather, Reverend Taylor, Henry Taylor, there's some kind of connection that connects, and then we connect.
Oh,
Something like that. She
okay.
probably told me before too. And she's probably thinking, I told you how y'all cousins, but she tells me how I'm cousins with everybody, and I
Yeah.
can't remember
Because I'm looking
everybody.
at some of the people that are on. I know them.
So who do you know?
I know Juanita.
Okay.
I know what's the boy's mama name? I know Henrietta.
Okay. Yeah, I know Henrietta.
I know Monique.
I don't remember Monique.
Monique is Juanita's daughter.
Okay.
So I know that group because my grandmother and their Juanita's father, Uncle Cal, are sisters and brothers.
Got you. Got you. And see, Henrietta, she's in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I reached out to her when me and my wife were in Chicago a few months ago. I don't think we've met in person yet, but yeah, I'm doing my part as well to try to start to, get closer to the family that I haven't been around. There it is. See, I told you. I said if my mom was on, she
Oh
knows.
God. Vanilla Williams Winfield was married to Calvin Winfield. Calvin Winfield is, if I'm not mistaken, somebody help me, was my grandmother's father.
Hmm. That was your grandmother's father.
Yeah. And Vanilla was my grandmother's mother.
Okay.
So I guess
So
that's,
those are your great grandparents, Calvin and Vanilla.
yeah, those are my great grandparents. But I don't know them. Okay. I don't know them. Those are my great grandparents. But we have a deep family. I'm so excited that they're
Absolutely.
putting together a reunion.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're deep. We're really
Very.
really deep.
Very.
Jetty and those guys, they're doing a really really marvelous job. It's very important. If we don't get all this together, our kids will mess around and marry each other. Uh,
That's true.
Vanilla father was Armstead Williams. Yeah, I think I remember Armstead Williams is probably where I got my preacher from. I think he was a preacher, a
Hmm.
Baptist preacher.
Hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he was a Baptist. But I know my grandmother had a brother named Armstead too. So um, Armstead and my great grandmother were siblings. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I know a lot of the history.
And then she said,
Um,
yeah, he was a preacher.
yeah, he
It,
was a
it,
preacher.
it makes you feel a different connectivity when you hear the relationship between, one of your elders and yourself, like some driving, force behind you that it almost feels like it was destined to happen before you even knew it.
I don't know. God had to call me twice. Okay, he
I don't
called
mean
me a
it wasn't
few
destined
times.
just because you didn't listen the first time.
Yeah, he called me a few times. He called me. He didn't just call me once or twice. He kept on calling until I picked up. It took a long time
Hey,
for me to
that's
pick
how
up.
you know. That's how you know it was destined. He was
He was
like,
calling
"Hey,
me. He was calling me.
that's
He
right,
even called some people and said, "I'm calling him." You
right."
know,
Did somebody get him, tell him to pick up.
tell him somebody tell him that it's me. It's me. But I'm excited for you and your podcast.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Your format, especially when you get a chance to I guess I watched something on Seinfeld years ago, and they said, we're going to do a show. What you going to do a show about? Nothing. We just going to have a show. This show going to be about nothing. We ain't going to have we're not going to have we don't have no format. This is a
Right.
show about nothing. We're going to talk about nothing. We're just going to talk. And I'm excited for you. I know our paths are going to cross, because that's the way God operates.
This is true. This is true.
You like it up in Oakland, man, I haven't been to Oakland since 1987.
Wow.
I went to Treasure Island.
Huh.
I was at a fireman school in Treasure Island, which it's between Oakland and Frisco.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
So I was down there during that time, and I again, I'm enjoying myself. This what you see right here, it's me 100%. That's how I act at work. I'm not fake. I do believe laughter is good for the soul. You can't laugh, and I do believe you have to be whoever you are. You can't be fake, can't be phony, and it's funny. It's funny because as I'm talking right now, sometimes I got somebody in the background telling me what not to say. Don't say that. Cut. You're gonna get fired tomorrow. But I am who I am. If they fire me, I'll be in Oakland. I'll be going back trying to find somebody that owe me a favor.
Right. Well, cuz I hope I can get you back on. Let me know if you can, see if we can get Bo or Gilbert on here with you. I'd love to chop it up with some more, or even some family members. You know what I mean? Like, I think continue to have great conversations is just good for the soul individually, and also great for the family as a bond to kind of be able to see us all come together, piece it together. There's strength in numbers, and oftentimes we don't have numbers. You know what I mean? We are all separate and doing our own thing. So appreciate you taking out this time to rock with me.
Anything I can do to help, is like I say, it's been real. It's been real. Now we real cousins. Now you know more about me. You can talk about me behind my back. Oh yeah, I know him.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know all about it.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, he don't smoke weed. He used to.
Right. I know you're on another level now. We good.
We good now. Usually when you get good, can I borrow some money?
Right. let me hold something. I know you're doing all right. Let me hold something.
Cash at me.
You said the teachers was gonna be. Come on now. Don't talk. Don't play with me, cousin. All right, cousin. The way we sign out, I'll say pod is good. You say all the time. I'll say all the time. You say pod is good. You got me?
I got you.
All right, sir. Pod is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
Pod is good.
Cousin Reverend, I appreciate you, sir. I'll talk to you soon. Take care now.
All right.
All right, y'all. There it is. Episode 52 of the Pod is Good podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I mean, that was beautiful for the soul. Just seeing my family, us talking, sharing stories, laughing, hearing about his life as a teacher, as a coach. I mean, all of it. That was a beautiful moment for me. So I'm hoping that it translated to you as well on screen. And if it did and you enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe to the channel, share it with someone, watch it again. There was some little tidbits in there. He was dropping jewels in there. Sometimes you gotta go back and relive it and go, maybe I will take that thing that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said with maybe I will take that thing that he was telling the kids when he was a behavior. Go back, listen. That's what we do. We give you a little something to encourage and to entertain. Till the next time, I am Cashmere, California. This is the Pod is Good podcast, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.